From the Hey Did You Ever See That movie studios in downtown Boston, it's showtime. Welcome to Hey, did you ever see that movie? I'm your host, Des, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely little co-host, Lynn.
This guy has been playing you like a piano concerto.
And joining us again, the podcaster with 1,000 potions, Mikki. Welcome back to the show.
I'm back.
And last but not least, the podcaster, packing heat, Tony 2.0.
It's a kite-eat-kite world out there.
This week, we will be discussing the 1990 thriller, Pacific Heights, written by Daniel Pine, directed by John Schlesinger, starring Melanie Griffith, Matthew Modine, the great Michael Keaton, and Laurie Metcalf. As always, this podcast will contain spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie, go watch it, then come back and listen to the podcast. Hey, let's run that trailer.
Carter Hayes has come to San Francisco. He will search for the perfect apartment. He will find the perfect landlords. And now, the game begins.
I'm your new tenant. I'm Carter Hayes.
Melanie Griffith, Matthew Modine, and Michael Keaton.
Mr. Hayes? Mr. Hayes?
Pacific Heights.
All right. Please take a minute to like, subscribe, and share. If you're watching or listening to this on YouTube, like, subscribe, leave a comment. It helps. If you're listening on Apple, leave us a 5-star review. It helps. If you would like to help the show grow or help support the show, we do this out of the kindness of our hearts and the depth of our pockets. Check out the merch store over at vvr.printify, printify.me, vvrprintify.me. Get your Hey Did You Ever See That movie shirts, great quality shirts, great print, great design, or you could get a coffee mug. So there you go. Go over there and do that if you want to help us out. Let's head over to the mailbag. Lynn, get any mail?
I had 2 different listeners reach out to me to tell me how unhinged and funny the Stoned Age episode was. I think people might have missed it just because we released it so close to the holidays. But even if you've never seen this movie, it's a goldmine of absolute ridiculousness. So go back and give it a listen.
Yeah, it was a fun episode. Me and Tony were fighting. Lynn was adding in like fucking boxing ring bells, and it was fucking pretty good. And I got a message from Rich, buddy Rich. He runs Daddy's Bone Town Burgers. It's a food truck in the Boston area. If you guys are from Boston or Massachusetts, I suggest you check that out because this man can make a fucking burger, okay? You're not going to be disappointed. These burgers are really good. But anyway, Lynn and Tony ruthlessly ragged on me during the entire Stoned Age episode, just saying it was absolute shit. I must be a fucking moron for liking it. This thing should have never been made. I believe Tony actually compared it to a movie of his colonoscopy. So Rich came to my defense and said that he also enjoyed this movie back in the day, and his message couldn't have come at a better time as I was defending myself the next day. So, Rich, thank you. I appreciate that. And so everybody, run out, get your Daddy's Bone Town burger tomorrow. And on our next show, we will be doing Kill Bill Volume 1 with original flavor Tony. And then we're going to tie that with Kill Bill Volume 2 on our very next episode with Tony. So it's going to be a 2-parter. So you look forward to that.
Can you believe he's never seen Kill Bill?
Yeah, way to spoil it.
Who has never seen Kill Bill?
Oh my God.
That's crazy. Big
Like,
Des,
right?
Des, did you fall and hit your head when you were a kid? What are you talking
listen,
about? Come on.
martial artist. I train in martial arts.
What the hell is wrong with you?
I love fucking these kinds of movies.
I know. I was going to say, I know you're a Tarantino fan. What were you thinking?
Listen, I don't
These
know.
are like the most prodigious films he's made.
It's like I was in a parallel universe when it came out, and I just never knew it existed. Like I know nothing about this. I can't wait.
Go in the Crazy 88, man.
Yeah, I fucking host a movie podcast.
You're gonna dig it. There's just a treasure trove of fucking great stuff in those films. You're gonna love it.
I can't wait. So for fun, I thought that I would do a quick fast five. I actually came up with this 5 minutes
Ooh.
before the show. put a lot of thought into this. I'm going to use it on this show and the Violent Vinyl episode coming up because I just thought it was fun. So here we go. I'm going to get right into it. This is going to be musical decade showdown. Okay, so I'm going to give you 2 decades. You're just going to tell me which one was better. I'm going to go right through it. Okay, number 1.
Do it.
The 1950s or the 1960s? Tony.
Oh, the 60s, far and away.
Mickey.
60s.
And Delynn.
I'm going to go 50s just for the doo-wop. I thought it was good.
Oh, yeah.
I liked it.
Mental.
Okay.
Okay, the correct answer is the 60s. I mean, the 50s did not have a lot of great music. Maybe some good, like, you know, that blues shit that, like, you never really heard, but you know it's out there and it's just amazing. You know, this just, you got the King, you got Elvis Short's great. But it's limited. The 60s is the correct answer.
Well, I'm kind of coming at it from the Grease point of view, I think. But
You're just wrong. So let's move on to number 2. The 60s.
She's not wrong. She's different. It's okay.
Listen, Mickey's got scars. The 60s or the 70s? Tony.
Ah, the 70s, baby.
Okay, totally business. Mickey, 60s or the 70s?
Oh, the 70s. Oh, the 70s. Yeah.
Delynn, 60s or the 70s?
The 70s.
Correct answer is the 70s. There you go. You got some great punk, got some really great classic rock. You just got good stuff. Okay,
Yeah, the whole
moving
musical
on.
world expanded in the decade of the 70s.
Okay, moving on. 70s or the 80s? You kind of see where I'm going here, right? Okay.
No, you came up with this just moments ago, didn't you?
Tony, 70s or the 80s?
The 80s, baby.
All right, Mickey, 80s or the 70s?
80s.
Delynn?
80s.
80s for the win all day. 80s, oh boy. Okay, so where it gets a little trickier, the 80s or the 90s? Tony, which was better?
80s.
Mickey.
This is a really hard one.
It is, because there was some really good music in the 90s.
Oh, I missed the fucking 90s
Me
so
too.
much.
90s were great.
Oh, I'm going to have to say 80s.
Delynn.
When a problem comes along, you must whip it. I'm going 80s.
There you go. Nicely done.
It's the correct answer. It's the 80s because it's the 80s. That's all I have to say, okay? It's
That's
the fucking
right.
80s. They win.
Do you guys remember? I was thinking about this the other day because I heard it. It came on the radio. Do you guys remember when Frankie Goes to Hollywood Relax came out and everybody freaked the fuck out?
Yeah, because it was
Yes.
fucking freaking awesome, man. Relax. Don't do it.
Remember they all wore the shirt? Frankie says
Yeah,
relax.
Frankie says
Yes.
relax. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The 90s to present day. I'm going to give you a big gap there. The 90s to present day. That would be 2000 till now. Tony.
I'm sorry, the 90s or 2000 to present
It's
day?
going
Is
to be
that
the 90s or present day, 2000 to present day.
90s, far and away.
Mickey
Yeah, 90s.
and Delynn.
I have to go 90s. Even though there's some great music now, you got to go 90s.
Mm-hmm.
The correct answer is the 90s. And then bonus question. Out of all the decades given today, which one is better than the 80s? Tony.
I don't think there is one.
Mickey.
I think the 80s are the uncrowned king of all your
Your answer.
I think I agree with my husband.
And Delynn.
Holy shit, write that down.
And
There's
Delynn.
time for everything.
That's
I'm
it.
going the 80s is king. You can't fucking do that.
The answer
Yeah.
is the 80s. And I think what we've learned here is the 80s was the best decade of music. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Kenny!
Okay, there you go. There you go. Nobody's getting that fucking 10 minutes back in their lives. Okay. For this movie we're doing today, with a box office budget of $18 million and a box office gross of $45 million, this movie was considered a moderate success by the studios. You know, it was funny. I couldn't believe how much more of a budget the Stone Age had than this. Like, I was like, where did they spend that money in that movie? Like, definitely not on the actors, definitely not on the.
It was all the music licensing.
Oh my God, dude. This movie has all these great actors, $18 million fucking budget. Crazy.
Yeah, because it was all actors and renting that house. That's all it was.
I think that Stone Age had like an $80 million budget or something.
No, it didn't.
No,
Stop.
like, listen. I think it did. Hang on. It's going to be an edit here.
I think it did, he says.
I'm gonna
You
tell
know why,
exactly
Des?
what
It's
it was.
because
It's
marijuana
gonna-
makes you slow and lethargic, and they had to take a lot longer to shoot it because they actually smoked weed during the filming. While specific budget figures for the 94 stoner comedy The Stone Age aren't readily available, likely cost under $5 million given its B-movie status and its focus on music rights like Blue Oyster Cult rather than massive special effects. So they're not giving you a number, probably because it wasn't done by a big production house. But
Yeah.
the guesstimate on AI is under $5 million. So
Ralph, I was running. It's kind of stuck in my throat there, stuck in my throat. Ralph, look, I was running.
All right, let me give you a synopsis for this one. San Francisco yuppies restore a costly Victorian home, then rent a studio apartment to a landlord's nightmare.
At an upscale Palm Springs resort, a man, Carter Hayes, and his lover, Ann, are in bed together. Suddenly, the door bursts open and two men with baseball bats enter and dole out some beatings. Ann holds on to Carter, who talks about leaving. In San Francisco, Drake Goodman and his girlfriend, Patty Palmer, are house hunting in the city's upscale Pacific Heights neighborhood. They find a large Victorian fixer-upper made up of 3 apartments. Patty and Drake look upon the house as an investment. They can rent out the other 2 units to pay their mortgage and handle all the renovations themselves. So the beginning of this movie is really awesome because you know there's some nefarious shit happening right from the go. You don't get your ass beat like that unless you're involved in something shady. But in the meantime, I'm watching the flip side of this with the 2 yuppies, and I'm thinking to myself, how does a chick that rides horses and a guy that manages a kite factory afford a $250,000 house in San Francisco? Obviously, they're using a little creative license, and today I think that house is worth about $4 million.
I'll tell you exactly.
Well, neither of them could afford to live in the city. And the other fact is that that house is not in the Pacific Heights neighborhood. It's really in the Potrero Hill area.
How interesting. So
You're such a dude.
So this intro right away. So I told you, I hadn't seen this movie in a long time. And I didn't tell you that because I skipped over the opening thoughts.
I was going to say, when did you tell us this? But okay.
You guys want to do the opening thoughts?
Sure. Considering this is the opening, that'd be a good idea.
Listen, I'm just going to go right now. So Tony, did you ever see the movie before?
I have, but it was many, many years ago.
Okay. Delyn?
I had seen it, but it's been a very long time.
Mickey?
I thought I had, but once I started watching it, it wasn't what I thought. So no, I'm guessing no. Because
so
if I did, I don't remember. It was very not memorable.
So we got one newbie here. And I've seen this movie at least 24 times, but it's been about 10 years since I actually watched it, long before I started doing movie reviews. So yeah, I hadn't seen it in a while. So when it opened up, this is for me like macaroni and cheese, okay? This intro made me so nostalgic for the 80s style of movie making. And yeah, I know this is 1990, but it's still just, it reeks of the 80s. We get the sexy saxophone like in all the Lethal Weapons. We get the long shot of the truck speeding down this long desert road with the heat air rising and these wind turbines. I mean, this is so fucking 80s done right. This is Miami Vice. This is like everything I love about the 80s. It was like Mel Gibson's mullet wrapped in spandex and sprayed with Dakar. Remember Dakar?
Oh, yeah. Car Noir.
That's what this was, and it was awesome. Like I said, I hadn't seen the movie in years and years. I had forgotten, and I don't know if I ever really noticed because I didn't review movies back then, but I had forgotten how artistic some of the shots were. Like this opening shot of Carter and Ann screwing, right? It's kind of blurry and out of focus, and as the camera pans back, you're going to see it's actually a reflection in a little TV. I thought that was really, really great. Then Carter getting his ass kicked, right? He's getting his ass whipped. And we get, another great shot of Carter's face. The thug hits him with the baseball bat right across the chin. And as Carter's like, presumably, going unconscious, we're going to see his face, the blood splatter on the backside of this really thick glass wall. And the shot goes wonky. It gets kind of like blurry and wavy. And it really just brings me into Carter's mind. I had really forgotten how just sexy this movie was. And finally, on that opening scene, the way they kind of, Delin said, yeah, you got to be involved in something shady to get an ass whipping like this. That's not true. We don't know what these two guys were doing. We don't know why. In my opinion, this woman seems to be in love with Carter. These guys break in, they whoop his ass. I feel like he's being presented to me as a protagonist here. He feels like the good guy in this opening scene, which is fun as it leads into this movie. And he presents himself as a good guy as things are unraveling and going wrong until he's not a good guy. So I thought that was very, very clever. Really good writing.
By the way, Des, those are called glass blocks. And that's why that has that. But I agree. I actually had a flashback to the scene in 48 Hours. Because it's the same thing. A, it's done in San Francisco. So it's like a fucking archetype being shot. And B, it's the idea of, the prison break with the truck on the highway. It's the same thing. My thing is this. I'm not sure how you got the fact that Carter Hayes could be a good guy. Because not only do they beat the shit out of him, but then they go, that should be enough. And then they just wander off. And I'm like, usually if you're going to get your ass beaten, you're the good guy. They're going to tell you why they're doing whatever. He's just, it's inferred that he knows why this ass whooping is coming to him. And he needs to correct himself. So obviously, to me, that was the idea that, boy, you really fucked up so bad that these people don't even want to address you. They don't even want to tell you who sent them. You know what I mean?
Because they know you know.
Yeah, they're willing to do it without masks on, so you know kind of what they look like and what's going on. But you already know this is coming, and you're found out, and now you got your ass handed to you. And, enjoy your hospital stay.
Yeah,
so,
well, I can see the way you're looking. I think that was really left open-ended. I mean, there was almost zero exposition. I think that the director really wanted to leave the door open for you to think maybe he's not a bad guy. I don't know. Mikki, what did you think?
I agree with you, Des. I think that, at the start of it, you really don't know. You really don't know why he's getting his ass kicked. I mean, obviously from the trailers,
yes,
but if you were just going in blind, I mean, you were just thinking, and then I thought, well, maybe she's a married woman and, it's her husband or whatever. Like, I didn't really know. I really didn't know. Is he a shithead, or is he just, sleeping with a married lady, or is he a good guy just in the wrong place? Are they there because of her? Do you know what I mean? You really don't know. You really don't know.
Because she gets a little of the beating. She tries to intercede and she takes a few blows because she's in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Maybe they got the wrong guy. Maybe that's why they ran out and didn't say anything. Who knows? It's left open-ended. But Tony, I understand what you're saying. It could be construed either way. So next we're going to meet Patty and Jake, right? So this is the exact.
We're starting off with calling him Jake now. His name is Drake.
Yes. Well, wait a minute. There's a long tradition of screwing up names on this show, and he got the word Schlesinger right, so he's already ahead of the game. I mean, come on.
All right, listen. I'm probably going to say Drake because I remember writing it down when I did this, but anytime I say Jake, it means Drake. I actually watched this movie. I started it because this is how long it takes me to do this. So I started at midnight. I'm like, I can do this. It was Saturday night. I'm like, I can get this done tonight. I started at midnight. It took me almost 4.5 hours to do this. 6 a.m. I'm laying in bed now. The sun's coming up and I'm like, what the fuck? All right, who cares? So next we meet Patty and Drake.
That's the kind of blood, sweat, and tears we put in this show, people.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Remember, Cafex doesn't keep you up at night.
So we meet Patty and Drake. So this is the exact opposite of the opening scene we just got. We go from this ultra modern condo, sleazy sex, sexy saxophone, and violence, to a Victorian home with our all-American apple pie, golly gee couple. And I fucking love it. Also, Delin said the $750K price of the building. So she was talking about how much this building was worth and how they couldn't afford to, live in the city, but they're buying this. So they said in the movie that it was $750,000. That's the price of the building. That's what they're paying for it. In today's money, that would be $1.86 million, which would still be a bargain. They're getting it at a great price. I also did some research, and this exact house that was filmed in the movie sold in 2017 for $3.26 million. So that would have been a great investment for a young couple back in 1990.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it also got a soup to nuts renovation, of which
we'll get into this.
Patty did most of, by the way,
Yes.
because apparently
We'll get into
her
that,
husband's
too.
a loser.
Fucking
Not only
loser.
that, but it has a garage, which in San Francisco means it's worth an extra $350,000 because it has both off-street parking and a garage space.
Yeah, in San Francisco, there's no garages. They just fucking renovate them and move a family in there for fucking $4,000.
Yeah, that's it. I was gonna say that's called the living room. Yeah, right.
That's called a fucking studio apartment with no bathroom.
That's it. You just know they just give you a bucket.
Do you guys want to comment on fucking Drake and fucking Carol?
Patty.
I wanted to throat punch them. And it's pretty sad that I didn't even realize that you called him Jake. I just went with it. They were the most forgettable, vanilla, boring couple I think I've seen in movies.
I really dislike Melanie Griffith. I really dislike her.
I do too.
And I don't know why.
I was gonna say, tell me what it is about her.
I don't know. It's maybe it's the voice. It's that. It's like, oh my God, please.
I think you're right because I've always felt that way about her too. Like I've never really liked. I didn't even like Working Girl. Like I just don't like her as an actress.
Yeah, and she's never done anything wrong. Like she's not like
she's perfectly average.
Yeah, I just don't like her.
One thing, if I can just throw in there, is that I saw a side of her I've never seen as an actress before, where she is, I don't want to say confrontational, but she is definitely the boss with the sauce.
Yes.
When she's talking to Carter in their first kind of a dialogue together, and he's making assumptions that were not true, and she is not going to take his shit. And he says, "Oh, I spoke with you before," and she's like, "No, you didn't."
Yeah.
But she's not haughty. She's just fact-based. And then when he ups the attitude a little bit, she not only matches him, but then kind of plays like a slightly detached person, something I've never seen her do. And it kind of gave me more respect for her because of the fact that it was so beyond her realm, you know?
She's actually incredibly well written. Like I felt like she was really well written.
Yeah, far and away, she's the greatest character in the show because you learn more about her through what she does than anyone else in this film.
Tony, I actually said to Delyn when we were talking about this driving around, you know, how strong this character is. You know, she's like you said, she's almost like stoic, right? Is the word I would use. It's a really good character. And, you know, after she reads out this next section, I'll tell you why Melanie Griffith and Matthew Modine work so well in these parts. But we'll get to that. Delyn, keep it rolling.
Well, Drake is a dipshit.
Word. He really is. They rent one unit to the Pleasant Watanabe family and interview another applicant, Lou Baker, whose divorce has left him looking for a place to live. He's hesitant to fill out the credit form, though eventually agrees, slipping it under the door after hours. However, when the Watanabes move in, the application gets shuffled aside and lost. Carter Hayes arrives and applies for the studio. He is also hesitant to fill out the application, but flashes a large amount of money in front of Drake, promising he'll pay for security deposit and 6 months' rent in advance by wiring the money to him. Drake agrees, and when Drake calls for a reference, Carter's lover Ann answers and gives him a glowing and fake recommendation. Patty finds Carter in the apartment one day, asking who he is and seeing that Hayes has brought dozens of out-of-town phone books with him. Patty informs Drake that Carter's already in the unit, though he's not paid them a cent. Drake becomes angry when the bank tells him that the money hasn't arrived. When he tries to talk to Carter, a strange man named Greg answers the door and tells Drake that Carter is out of town. When Drake tells Greg to have Carter contact him, Greg curtly slams the door in his face. Michael Keaton plays menacing so well, and he had played so many comedic roles by the time this movie came out. I mean, like Mr. Mom and all that stuff. He does menacing so well. I was so impressed with him on this. It's in full display in this movie. But Melanie Griffith complained about her time on this film, and so did Matthew Modine. They actually complained about each other. Melanie complained about Matthew Modine. Modine complained about Melanie, and just not being able to work with one another. And Matthew Modine is quoted as saying all she did was complain about being on her period. So it's like, So it feels to me like the chemistry was strained between them. And I think it reflects in the film. And honestly, yes, that actually works once you're in the midst of the film, but at the very beginning and at the end, not so much. I didn't get loving couple from them, but I do get bumpkin. I do get like a bumpkin kind of thing from them.
Good thing there were no bears on set, huh?
I read somewhere that their periods attract bears. The bears can smell the menstruation.
Well, that's just great. You hear that, Ed? Bears. Now you're putting the whole station in jeopardy.
They can smell the bean. Sure.
I disagree with everything you just said. Obviously you didn't watch the movie. So here's the deal. I'm not crazy about Melanie Griffith as an actor. I'm not. Melanie Griffith's fine, but she's not one of my favorites. And I'm not crazy about Matthew Modine as an actor. I mean, as far as 80s actors, Modine is not my favorite, Brat Pack. I know he wasn't in the Brat Pack, but you know what I'm saying. He'd be on the far end of the scale for me. But they are both quality actors. Like, they both can act very well. There's nothing cheesy, no holes in their games. They can pull it off. And they pull off this ultra innocent, super naive couple, getting in over their heads. And I felt enough innocence on screen between them, enough chemistry, that their emotional roller coaster while Carter put them through hell, it really worked for me. And, we do get this one moment where, she says, the white cat, we find this could be a sign of good luck. It's foreshadowing. This is great. It's going to pay off. Obviously, this cat wasn't good luck because things go to shit after they find it. And they have this really tender moment on the paint drop cloths. And I believed it. I did. I thought it was really, really good.
Well, you're a hopeless romantic, Des.
I am. And I cried watching Undercover Boss. I watched 3 episodes, and when the boss helped the employees out with a little cash and they cried, I cried.
Nice. That shit doesn't happen in real life, just on TV.
What'd you guys think of the fucking relationship here? Mikki?
It wasn't believable to me. It really wasn't. I thought they were, and maybe it's because of, what Dylan said, where they did not really like each other off screen. I think it did show. I just thought, like, again, I thought they were vanilla. They were forgettable. They were fucking boring. Like, if I met them, I probably wouldn't remember meeting them. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just thought they were just super generic, and they were not believable to me as a happy, excited couple.
They felt like kids. They felt like kids with no world experience on their first journey together. They're in love. They're buying their first house. I mean, if they were too worldly or too interesting and street smart, I wouldn't believe that they would step into every single trap. Like, after you step in 3 pieces of shit, you start smelling it and looking down, but not when you're this green and this vanilla. That's what really worked for me.
That's fair. That's fair.
These actors, Tony.
I think that's really well said. I don't enjoy Drake's character much because he's wishy-washy, and then when he does decide to make a stand, it's such a day late and a buck short proposition. You're just like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? I mean, come on. I know she's not your wife, she's just your girlfriend, but there are points in this film where you want to yell at the screen and go, get the fuck up and do something.
Do something.
You know what I mean? They're just lame, and they're, they get walked on and they just kind of bite their lip and move on. And it's like, what is wrong with you? My joke was to myself is this shit never works on the East Coast. Okay.
No.
Carter Hayes winds up in Back Bay in the East Coast. Okay. Because you fucked up. So now you get one in the back of the dome, leave the gun, take the cannoli. I mean, goodbye. It's it, Don't go to Southie. You're not coming home. Yeah. We told you how to play this game. You chose to make your own rules. Now you have to pay the bill. In LA or San Francisco, that might wash, but it surely doesn't work in any fucking big city in the East Coast.
Yeah. In Boston, the sheriff doesn't escort you out. The landlord does.
Well, no, you're lucky if the sheriff escorts you out, because then you have a chance of breathing.
What I'm saying.
Right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The landlord and his 2 brothers escort you out in Boston.
Right. His 2 brothers named Moose and Rocco come over and they fix your little red wagon,
Exactly.
So, but it's kind of the thing where I love the way they go over it, and there are some elements of reality they like to mix in, like, we'll just go over the application and we'll fudge a little bit. like that's funny. It's like, yeah, they have a name for that. It's called fraud, and
That's
you can go to
hilarious.
prison for it. Yeah. And then the best part is they are children, because she's talking about what purpose for the building. She's like, what do you mean it's a building? I'm like, what they're trying to say is it commercial or is it residential? I mean,
Yeah.
they don't even know how to fill out the fucking application properly.
Yeah.
So
They're
you can
kids.
kind of see they are. Yeah. They're adult bodies with children's minds.
Yeah. Been that age before. So we're talking about the building. So they're renting out this 1-bedroom apartment for $1,300 a month, right? A 1-bed in Pacific Heights today can run as high as $6,000 a month. That's for real. Like,
Holy
that's
shit.
crazy.
Yeah.
Now I need to discuss the DIY renovations that we were all fucking giggling about earlier. So one, Patty rewiring the Victorian electrical work is ridiculously dangerous, okay? And probably illegal. And will no doubt void the homeowner's insurance after that building burns to the ground from faulty wiring, killing half of her tenants and fucking voiding out the insurance policy, okay? That's terrible. Second, Drake painting. What kind of a fucking Tongo rolls a wall from left to right? It's
The nice part is she's so kind to just politely go, I think you're supposed to go up and down.
dude,
Very politely. Most people would look at that and go, what the fuck are you doing?
that's what I did. I
She's
looked at
just
smoking.
She's just so polite, and she goes, I think it's supposed to go up and down.
Yeah, it was crazy. Big section of the movie. This is very important. And I wanted to break it down because it really puts a hit on Patty's character that never is paid back by the writer. It does her a little bit dirty. So next we meet the Lieutenant Baker. And this was an interesting scene to me because the question is, was Patty guilty of racially profiling the lieutenant or not? Because it does come up later in the movie when he suggests she didn't rent to him because he was black, right? The director did have the lieutenant ask if he could pay half now and half later, right? So you're a new renter, first thing, that's going to put up a red flag. I mean, obviously, anybody, doesn't matter, creed, race, doesn't matter. Can I give you half now and half later? I'm not comfortable with that. Then he gets a little aggressive about wanting the apartment and his credit is good. My credit's good. I told you, I want this apartment. It was a lot, and he broke in when she was speaking with the Asian couple again. And, how much is the rent here? $1,000? Like, they're in the middle of talking to her. So I think these would raise red flags for any new renter looking to rent out an apartment, regardless. And I went back and watched the way that she interacted with the other people that looked at the apartment as well. And she treated everybody roughly the same. If anybody got it rough, I think that it was the gay couple. And I think it was just because they were talking about painting the inside of it black. And she wasn't excited after she had just painted it all white, right? So we see a little bit later on in the movie, before Carter actually moves in, Patty tells Drake, the lieutenant looked at it first. She doesn't know he's a lieutenant, but she says, this guy looked at it first. He's actually ahead of him on the list, right? So we know that she had no problem. She actually wanted to move him in first. She wanted to give him the apartment. And what does Drake say? Oh, it's probably one of these minority scams. That's shitty. So he's the shitty one.
He's actually the racist, not her.
He's actually, I don't know if I'd say he's racist, but he's not acting nice. This isn't a nice thing to say.
No, it's not.
And then later she is going to bump into the lieutenant again after all the horse shit is going down. He's going to say, I bet you wish you had just rented the black man. And she goes, I never got your application for the financing. And he says, I left it. And she says, well, I didn't get it. And he looks at her and goes, mm-hmm. And that's it. That's how it's left. And there's never any redemption for Patty. He never is going to know that, she actually wanted to rent to him. She's a good person. And it's her husband that's a fucking piece of shit. And I just thought the movie fucking did her dirty.
I think the big thing with the lieutenant is that he does come off as a little brash and a little hard. And then he's insistent, but he's not sensical about it, right? It's one thing to say, I'm a law enforcement officer, so I know that there are policies and procedures that have to be followed because that's my training. And he doesn't want to do that. He wants to go dip, duck, and dodge and go around shit. And she's firm but fair.
Yes.
Everyone has to fill out a credit application.
Correct.
She says the same thing to Carter. He's the nice, well-dressed white guy. She could give fuck all about Carter, right? It's idiot Drake that goes, oh, okay, you got $3,200 in your wallet. You must be a good tenant. Anybody that wants to pay you cash and you're in the fucking real estate business. Oh, there. Mikki loves to blast me whenever I use that voice.
You fucking Bullwinkle?
Yeah. Gee, I don't know, Davey.
Oh, no.
But anyway.
Don't, Davey. I can't. That shit gives me the crease, man. Davey and Goliath, that hurts.
What? You don't like Davey and Goliath?
Listen, I had to see a therapist. Keep going.
Oh, my God. All right. We're not getting into that story. Keep moving. So, it's Drake. And it's Drake shortcutting because we find out later that's what Drake's good at. He finds new ways to fuck up pretty basic shit because he's a panty waste and he's got no fucking brains whatsoever. And that's why Patty is the hero of the fucking movie because
100%.
She's absolutely Patty regardless. My favorite too is, they're a young couple and they're on a budget, but apparently they have a hell of a set of tools. She's got a fucking $2,000 Senko nail gun with the air hoses and the 60 fucking gallon tank with the compressor. And she's over here, and then she's putting 3x8 plywood over fucking holes in the floor. I'm like, what are you doing? That's not what you would do.
Dude.
But anyway.
I'm a fucking painter, okay? And when Drake's out in front of the place, he says to the neighbor, you like the color? Like him and Patty did it with fucking 3-inch brushes on Saturday. Like it would take a professional company with like 11 guys like 2 weeks to paint that place.
Yeah, and that's with picks and ladders and scaffolding and all sorts of shit that they don't own. Yeah.
Yeah, fucking, a fucking commercial spray.
Yeah, because it's got crazy peaks and it's on a hill and the first floor is really the second floor. So you'd need a fucking 32-foot extension ladder. I mean, it's crazy, dude.
I just saw this guy rolling a wall left to right. Hey, do you like the color?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
You didn't paint that house. You give me a break.
So finally, we get a look at our two main protagonists in action. And this is an amazing shift in the movie from this innocent, upbeat, like enthusiastic, feel-good story to a twisted psychological thriller. Like in an instant, I almost forgot that I was watching what was going to become this crazy violent movie. Like up until we meet Greg, right? This is like almost you're getting montages. It almost starts feeling like a rom-com, doesn't it? Like they're going to get this house and, chickadee Jew, they're going to be, stinging each other. And like, no, I thought we were getting like fucking one of those feel-good, like 80s
Chickadee
movies.
Jew?
Yeah.
Chickadee Jew?
Like that movie with Meg Ryan and Nicolas Cage where he wins the lottery ticket. Like it almost started to feel like that. But no, that's not what we're getting.
Jiggity Jew.
Yeah. So first we're going to meet Carter and Michael Keaton here. Tony, you texted me this. Just awesome. Just awesome in this character.
I did.
He's so manipulative. Yes, when we were texting back and forth about doing this, you said one of my favorite Michael Keaton characters.
I apologize. I forgot. Okay.
That's okay. I don't forget anything.
No, absolutely. Yeah. And I think Delynn said it too, is that you've seen Michael Keaton in very diverse roles. You've never seen him like this. And unfortunately, you really haven't seen him since. I mean, he was great in a few other films. He was great in, what was it, Searchlight, where he plays the editor and the news team. And
Michael Keaton's amazing just overall. I don't think, to me, he can do no
very,
wrong.
very talented actor, but he's not really known for super heavy dramatic roles like this, where he's just such a good bad guy and he's relatable and he,
Hold on. Let's do a quick round robin. Favorite Michael Keaton role, Des.
Batman. He was the best. He's 5'4" with a dad bod, and he was the best Batman there was.
Mikki.
Oh my God, he's got so many.
Can I stall while you think, Mick?
Yeah, you go, Tony.
Mr. Mom, far and away.
Mr. Mom.
Yeah, Mr. Mom.
When
Mr. Mom. Tone. I'm with you, Mr. Mom.
Yeah.
I was going to say Mr. Mom or Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
I'm
Mr.
saying
Mom.
Beetlejuice.
No, it's Mr. Mom.
Beetlejuice is fucking him. Welcome to Winter River.
And then what about Multiplicity?
Oh, great multiplicity in all 6 parts.
Right.
But in this movie, in this character of Carter, super manipulative. He's very, very clever. He's very charming. And most importantly, he's scary, right?
Yeah. Oh, he's
very
he's
scary.
true sociopath,
But the director slips in this scene when he's talking with Drake and Drake's saying, this is my first place. And Carter walks into the bathroom and he's alone. He looks up at the ceiling and you can see for a second, he's almost having second thoughts about doing this. That's what I got out of it. Like, Drake is like, this is our first place. We're basically in up to our eyeballs. And it just, for 1 second, this little bit of humanity where he says, should I let these two off the hook? They're such little innocent kids. But ultimately, he decides to go through with it. Full fucking Monty.
I think you were the only person that saw that in him.
Yeah,
that didn't exist. You
Come
just
on, you guys
imagined
didn't
it.
see that moment?
No, I think he sees them as easy marks.
No
is
way.
what I
As
think
marks,
he
right?
sees.
Yeah, they're
No.
total marks, bro. Yeah, he doesn't have a fucking decent bone in his body, bro. He would rip a dead person out of the ground to get the gold teeth out of their head.
Go back and watch the scene. He walks into the bathroom alone. The director makes a point of having Drake talking about, this is our first place. We did all the work ourselves. We're so into it. And he puts his hands into his pocket. He makes this like almost face, like melancholy face. And he looks up at the ceiling for a second. And Drake says, so are you going to take it? And he's like, yeah. And I'm telling you, the director wanted you to think that he was giving it a second thought. He was going to spare these two lambs. That's how I saw it.
This is John Schlesinger. He did Midnight Cowboy and Marathon Man and The Falcon and the Snowman. He's not a nice director. He's a fuck you director.
Clearly.
Okay? He doesn't do any nice movies, right?
Okay.
You remember Marathon Man? Do you want the pleasure or do you want the pain? Right? I mean, Midnight Cowboy, want to talk about a fucking gut-wrenching film?
What a great movie.
Yeah, I mean, Ratso Rizzo, one of the greater, and again, a bumpkin from the country, which is John Voight,
It's so
going to
good.
the city to get a fucking education. And who does he run into? Little Dustin Hoffman.
Oh,
So,
you get the big cry at the end on the bus. Oh,
yeah.
We got to do
Come
it.
on.
We got to do it.
I mean, incredible stuff. And then, the guy, very talented, but let's be real. You know what he's really doing, Des?
What?
He's scoping out the fixtures, bro.
No.
This he's got
No.
his mark.
Listen,
he knows it.
Tony, I'll give
He
you this.
looks at the cabinets. He looks up at the fucking ceiling light and goes, I'm going to rape this place back to the walls.
Perhaps I read it wrong. Perhaps he was thinking to himself, this is going to be like shooting fish in a barrel, which it was. But yeah, however it was the director gave me a moment where I questioned Carter's intentions. So I thought it was good.
I think that's just the romantic in you coming out. You have a decency factor
I
for
do.
your human man. And
I do.
yeah,
I do.
And in Carter Hayes's life, that doesn't exist.
So finally, when you get a supporting actor here, and this guy Greg, okay, I fucking love this character. Does he have a lot to do in this movie? No. Does he have a lot of lines? No. But the way this guy looks was like, I can't imagine the emotions Drake must have felt. So he's rented to this guy in a business suit that presumably is rich, not going to be around, driving a Porsche. He fucking knocks on the door and this guy opens the door with his steampunk goggles. Like you can see chicken wire on the wall behind him. And he's like, what's up? Carter's away 2 weeks. Come back. Like, this guy was so steampunk, something out of like a 2005 Twilight Zone episode. The fucking hair, the eyes, the way he's dressed, the glasses, the funny, bizarre way he's talking. I fucking loved this fucking character. And this whole section of the movie where this slow build comes up, where Drake finally realizes, I think something has happened here. I don't think that fucking Carter is paying me. And we see this thing starting to just unravel before our eyes. This is my favorite part of the movie. And we get this final scene of Carter sitting in his chair in the apartment. He's like flipping a razor blade through his fingertips, which we see him do a lot. He's watching Patty mess with the fuse box.
That creeped me out.
Cockroaches crawling across TV screens. These are very, very artistic shots again. So stimulating and entertaining.
Yeah, I think it was very 80s kind of typification. The TV with the fuzz pattern. It's the kind of thing where those are iconic. He's sitting in the car in the dark, smoking and playing with his razor blade.
It's so good.
And, at that point, if Des believed there was a decent bone in his body, that scene will prove that you are wrong.
I was just going to say that.
There are no fucking decent bones in this guy's body, okay? Yeah, he's a complete psychopath.
Yeah. I mean, when she shines the flashlight in his face,
And he doesn't so much as flinch.
Doesn't blink.
doesn't so much as
Nope.
flinch.
I said to Tony twice last night, like, he better not hurt that cat. Like,
Same.
Yeah.
You gotta love my wife because she could give fuck all about all the characters. But if the pets are hurt, damn it, somebody's head's gonna roll.
Yeah.
The same. I was watching it and I finished watching it. I came out and I said to Des, I said, if he had killed that cat, we would have had a huge fucking problem because you would have set me up to watch this movie where the guy kills the cat.
No.
right.
No.
I did, by the way, really like the house.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the house is gorgeous. House is gorgeous.
See, I thought the house was kind of laboratory. I mean, first of all,
It
the gay
was
guys were
laboratory.
right. The gay guys were right because that
Yes.
fucking house needs color desperately.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
like,
I mean-
I love the outside. Like, I love anything that looks like a Victorian. You know what I mean? It was just cool looking.
Inside, it needed some help.
I couldn't believe that they didn't steal the wrought iron railing with the 3 mailboxes on it in the front of the house because to me that was the nicest Victorian touch in the whole place. But what do I know?
Yeah. Okay, so one night the Watanabes complain that there's loud banging coming from Carter's apartment. When Drake tries to enter the apartment to investigate, he finds that Hayes has changed the locks. The noise continues. In a fury, Drake illegally turns off the electricity and heat to the unit. Hayes calls the police, who, though they understand Drake's plight, order him to turn on the utilities. They also inform Drake that the tenant's laws protect Hayes as much as his landlord. Patty and Drake are then forced to hire an exterminator when roaches appear under the Watanabe's sink. To evict Carter, Drake and Patty retain a lawyer. She explains that Carter is a con man that knows the laws and the systems and is possibly trying to drive the owners off their own property. The case will take several months and the possibility of getting any money from Hayes is near zero. However, Drake and Patty simply just want Carter gone at this point. Later, Patty tells Drake that she's pregnant. So the screenwriter, Daniel Pine, wrote this movie based on his own trouble getting a troublesome tenant out of his rental property. I sincerely doubt that it was quite this bad, but I'm sure it was still a nightmare for him. And also, Orkin paid to be in this movie. They considered it like a commercial, basically. But then they were pissed about the way they were portrayed, and they sued for damages, and it got settled out of court.
If you have Tracy Walter as your representative in the film, you've gone way off track. I love him as an actor, but he is not the guy you want bringing your brand to the forefront. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
By the way, if I can say that the casting director, whoever, did an awesome job because although my wife didn't know who he was, I love Mako, who is Mr. Watanabe, because he is a character as well as the narrator of Conan the Barbarian films.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
And
cool.
the guy that was Dorian Harewood, who is like Drake's buddy, guy that takes him in when he gets the protective order and he can't go back to his own house. And then, of course, Tracy Walter was in Repo Man and about 50 other movies. He's been a bit character actor for 35 or 40 years in Hollywood. So
Trying to watch the movie last night, and he's going, Conan.
no,
Yeah.
no, the way the guy talks in the film, he goes Conan, and the way he says it is kind of classic. Yeah.
Can I just say, when she told him that she was pregnant, he's like, congratulations. Really?
It was so awkward.
Congratulations.
Like, how long have you been together? Like 2 months? Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
They were going for that, but let's be real. There's not a lot of love in their relationship. They rarely
No.
hug. There's not a lot of kissy and, kind of just warmth and, the whole thing. I almost at one point wanted to say, do they sleep in separate beds too or what? But
Oh, God.
It
He
is
just
what it is.
described my marriage to a T.
That's not true.
Do we sleep in separate beds?
We do.
Do we make out a lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
oh, there you go.
Okay. The morning after Drake cuts the power to the unit, the pacing of this movie, it felt like it was 35 minutes long. I never once was not fully engaged with what I was watching. I never once thought, looking at the timer, I was just, no. Pacing was amazing. And part of it is due to how good this movie looks. So we get this great scene that starts with a shot of Alcatraz Island, right? It's so good. It's right off in the distance. And as we're looking at fucking Alcatraz Island, cop car barreling up that street. It's just so symbolic and good about, what's going to happen now. This is where all the legal shit comes in. It's just beautiful. It pulls up to the apartment. And this is a great misdirection because we assume it's Carter that's in trouble, right? We assume that Drake has called the police on him. Not the case. Drake and Patty and we are about to learn the tenant's rights. And this is where the story starts getting really good. Watching Carter manipulate these situations and flip the script on Drake. And, we're learning the laws too now. So, everything we think we know, we don't know. And I'm going to get into the actual facts of this. So I love this meeting with the lawyer because at this moment, we understand that all hope is lost. Carter is not moving out. And the lawyer is telling him he's holding all the cards. It's crazy. So I researched it, and this is what I got from Google. This movie is actually shown in law classes in college, right? That's how close this is to reality.
Okay, well, that's a scary thought because this movie's way far away from reality, but I'll go with it.
So it's shown in law classes in colleges. It's considered to be largely true to the nightmare scenario of tenant exploitation possible under strong tenant protection laws reflecting real landlord fears in San Francisco, where tenants can be extremely difficult to evict. So they say this was very true to real life.
I'll tell you, before I left Massachusetts, I was renting a place, and my landlord lived in San Francisco, and she had a duplex. She lived on the top. Her tenant was on the bottom. Her tenant was apparently nightmarish, not violent nightmarish like this guy, but just horrible. And it took her a year and a half to get this tenant out. And the tenant trashed the apartment, did a lot of bad stuff. And then they told her, and this was back in 2007, 2008. So I don't know if laws have changed, but they told her that once she got the tenant out, she could not rent out the apartment for a year. And then when she did decide to rent it out again, this is fucking insane. She had to give the tenant that she evicted the first right of refusal to come back.
Oh, shit.
What?
Yeah. She had to offer it to that tenant first. Even though she took her a year and a half to get her out, she had to offer her the first chance at the apartment again.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
How insane is that?
I can tell you the laws haven't changed because I'm not going to mention his name, but we have a family friend who is presently going through this. He is, in fact, the tenant, and he doesn't want to go. And the landlord has been trying to evict him for a year now. A year. And now they've got a trial coming up that's going to be in another, I think it's 3 or 4 months away. And it's gotten to the point, like Tony said, this is Boston where people play differently. She's been going into his house and leaving shit in his closet. She puts a ghetto blaster face down on her floor over his bedroom. The cops have been there multiple times. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cops have been there multiple times.
What's the justification for the eviction? Because I'm assuming it's not non-payment. If he doesn't want to leave, it's probably not because he doesn't want to.
He has lots of money. He's been paying his rent, no problem. She said that he has too much stuff in his apartment. Too much stuff.
Okay. So basically what you're saying is you have a landlord who is insane. And it's a role reversal. You have a decent tenant who doesn't want to leave, and having too much stuff in your apartment is not A, illegal, and B, is certainly not grounds for an eviction. That's why this has been going on for a year, is because she has no right to evict him. He is simply trying to, and that is oftentimes the case. That's why some of these incredibly stupid laws were passed in the first place. A lot of it was because in cities like San Francisco, they would literally go from June to December and raise your rent every month $200, $300, $400 because you had all these people coming into what used to be, let's say, the Castro or the Tenderloin. And they said, you know what? We're going to force all these quote unquote low rent tenants out, and we're going to redo the building and bring in the big money tenants who are going to pay $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month after we renovate the building. Well, to get everybody to leave, they created inhospitable conditions and jacked the rent up. Now, this is the opposite. My thing, too, is that when you said, they study this in law school, except there are glaring errors in the way the film is portrayed.
But they have to make it interesting.
Right. And I'm not saying that that's not wrong, but, the lawyer in classic lawyer fashion kind of just throws her hands in the air and says, this will take months. And granted, evictions are tough. I mean, I've lived in the state of New York, which is about the most litigious fucking place in the world, and maybe second only after California for giving tenants rights as far as shit they don't need or deserve, they get. But it's the kind of thing where if you have a situation where there's no payment, you're going to win every single time, only because the state knows that if you can't take care of your bills, you're done for, and they don't want that shit going on. So, you know, Michael Keaton's never done an application, much less done a lease. So as the classic for the cops would be, prove to me you're a resident here, right? He has no driver's license with that address. He doesn't get mail there. He's just moved in. Show me that you're a tenant. I can't. Well, then get the fuck out, because you can't prove to me that you live here.
Yeah, they just said he has possession.
Right. Well, okay, that's all well and good, but a burglar could have possession.
Once you start getting mail, you could just, if you can get into the place, change the locks and get some mail, that's it. You're in.
In that confrontation, he's only been there like 6 days. Remember? They were going to have him wire the money. A fucking wire takes 4 hours, right? And it's on day 5 when all of a sudden he's got, I mean, you know the postal system. You can't get your fucking mail forwarded in 5 days. You know what I mean? Come on. You're lucky if you get it in 2 weeks. You know, they're slower than molasses in January.
I think we went too far down the road of fucking the laws of fucking renting. Oh, and in the case of Johnson versus New York in 1963, like we really broke it down.
He gets a little passionate.
Anything else you guys want to say about that section of the movie?
Only that Drake loses his temper. He's not a hothead, but he loses his temper at the worst time of the day, because you just told the cops what is going on by using a couple of choice 4-letter terms. So they take it personal, and then he's thrown to the hood of the car, and, you know, literally he's in deep shit. The other thing is that during the fight later in the film, he's the same way again. So he hasn't fucking learned one thing in this whole movie. Yeah. He's just a dullard.
I'm glad you brought that up, because it was interesting to me that, you know, he's such a composed character that's really like level-headed, and at the worst, most inopportune times, he starts fucking throwing down F-bombs and hey, fuck you, man, fuck your mama. And it's like, dude,
what are you doing?
Out, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the best part is,
really
again, that gives Patty the ability to try to jump in and save his ass, because that's all she's really doing this whole film, is trying to bail him out of the dumb shit. Yeah. Bail him out of the dumb shit that he keeps getting into.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, you're right.
When Carter comes over the couch with the fucking golf club after he's already shot him in the arm and starts beating him fucking ruthlessly, I was like, go Carter, fucking beat that piece of shit.
Yeah, sadly, it would have been a mercy killing. You know what I mean?
Okay, during another noisy night, Drake enters the crawl space under the unit. He witnesses an argument between Greg and Carter, which escalates into a physical fight. A jar falls on the air duct and shatters, spilling large roaches onto Drake's face. Later in their apartment, Drake surmises that Carter is somehow breeding roaches in his apartment in an attempt to drive out the Wantanabe's. Drake also discovers that Hayes has kidnapped Kitty, the stray cat Drake and Patty took in when they moved into the house. Drake wakes from a nightmare later to find that Patty is crying in the bathroom. She has miscarried the pregnancy. When they return from the hospital, Carter shows up at their door offering flowers and sympathy for Patty. Drake is infuriated and tackles Carter. The two fall down the stairs and Drake beats Carter severely, the altercation spilling out onto the street. The police arrive because Carter called them before going upstairs. They arrive and arrest Drake and charge him with assault. Carter obtains a restraining order that keeps Drake from coming within 500 yards of the house. Drake stays with a friend, but Patty calls, spooked because Carter left a replica of the house on her bed. Drake goes to the house and enters in violation of the restraining order, and Carter shoots him in the arm and places a crowbar in his hand, again framing him for assault. So Drake is doing everything wrong at this point. I mean, you fucking moron. He steps in every trap. Of course, this is according to Carter's plan. He's doing this on purpose. He's playing him like a fiddle. Patty is the only one using any caution. Like everyone has said before, she's the one that fixes everything. Like when the Wantanabe's blew a fuse, she's the one down in the basement and he's upstairs going, not yet, not yet.
Not yet.
Drake is a fucking milk drinker. He's a total moron.
Fucking window licking fucking goon.
Milk drinker. Nice.
I honestly don't think that Matthew Modine is up to playing against Michael Keaton at this point.
I disagree.
And this is how I feel about it. But oddly enough, the person who really wanted this role and fought for it was Christopher Reeve.
Wouldn't have worked. Wouldn't
That
have worked.
Christopher Reeve.
No,
Yes.
He wanted this role.
Formidable opponent. Like
No.
you really think Christopher Reeve is going to be like, okay, I did. Like, no.
Yes.
I
Yes,
bet he
because
could've
let's
done
be
the
real.
evil
What is Clark Kent?
I didn't
Clark
buy
Kent-
him as Clark Kent. He was a terrible Clark Kent. He was
What?
Superman. He was Superman.
No.
He was a great
You gotta
Superman.
be both. You gotta be
Oh.
both. You can't be. It's like you're Bruce Wayne. You're not Batman. You're fucking both. Christian Bale was both.
Well, I didn't.
Come
I
on.
didn't-
And the best part about Bale is that he was an asshole as Bruce Wayne because
not
he didn't want anybody making the juxtaposition.
I'm sorry,
of
I'm still
Batman.
stuck on
I
Milk
won't go.
Drinker. That was fucking great.
That was fucking choice. I called him a panty waste, but I like Milk Drinker better.
No, this is Modine is the perfect little mouse to the fucking Keaton's cat. And that's all this needs to be.
My big thing with him is he's great as a fucking, lily white Wonder Bread motherfucker, but he doesn't have it when he loses his shit. He's just like a 12-year-old throwing a temper tantrum.
I like that. What's supposed to be fucking an action hero fighter? This is a little dorky kid going up against
But wait a
man.
minute. This guy has snapped, right?
He's a milk drinker going up against a man.
Okay, you're right. The difference is that just because you are a milk drinker doesn't mean that's the only thing you got. You've seen it in Sonny Chiba movies. Fucking A, hit the dude. Have some fucking stones and let's get it.
He did. He got mad and he went for him.
And fell into the
And he
trap
fucked
with
him
both
up.
feet. Yeah.
Yeah, I was fine. I don't want him to suddenly become Frank Stallone and start spin kicking him like fucking Van Damme.
Okay, Frank Stallone is not
all of a sudden he
fighter either.
all of a sudden he hikes up his fucking sweatpants and starts doing fucking windmills. No, this is
I think it was more like a Bukowski film where he's like, I could take him if I had a little fuel. Yeah.
So in this section of the movie, the director does a nice job of turning up the intensity. Yeah, he's really turning up the intensity here as the movie's starting to roll on, right? Like, that's the other thing. This is what Tony a lot of times calls a slow burn, right? This is a moderate burn for me. I thought that once Carter and Greg move in, this thing fucking just is on full blast the rest of the time.
Yes, I agree.
The scene with Carter in the apartment with their cat. So he's stolen their cat. Again, spinning the razor blade between his fingers, which I thought was really fun, giving this guy that tell, it was just another character like habit that he had that made him feel like a real person to me. I thought it was really great. He's watching an old fashioned TV with snow on the screen. And I said this earlier, we get this close up of a cockroach crawling across the screen, which again is very artistic and creepy, but it's also foreshadowing. And the director does that a lot in this movie, where he'll give you a setup with a little piece of exposition or a really great shot like this cockroach. And then it will pay off later, like when the cockroaches are coming, out of the kitchen cabinets. I'm loving it. Everything is working perfectly for me. I'm not bored for a second.
The razor blade thing was creepy, but to me, like, I thought it was leading up to something. Like, I thought
he was going to use it in some way.
Yeah, like maybe they wanted to show, like, that I was telling him, like, please don't kill the fucking cat. Like, but maybe they wanted to show just like he's a psycho and he fucks around with razor blades all the time. Like, I guess that
Living
was all
on
they
the
were trying
razor's
to do.
edge.
But I thought it was like I thought it would come into play somehow, and it didn't.
Yeah.
But again, I will give Patty credit. She, when you were saying again, I'm not a Melanie Griffith fan, but her character had way more cojones than
way more
whatever is fucking Jake there.
Drake,
whatever.
But I think a big part of my problem with this movie was that I did not find them. I didn't think they were a good couple. Like, I didn't care. Like, I didn't like them. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't give me enough whatever to give a shit that this was happening to them.
Yeah, they didn't have enough buy-in.
Yeah, they didn't feel lived in.
Like, I just didn't care enough. Like, oh, he's fucking you over? Well, that sucks. You know what I mean? Like, I actually like the Watanabes more than I like them. You know what I mean?
I liked the Watanabes a lot, actually.
Yes.
They were a character. They were a quality couple, and they were really, really good fucking characters in the movie. Could have had them in more, in my opinion.
Yeah, I did like them a lot, and I
was kind of hoping Mr. Watanabe was going to fuck up Carter.
That would have been cool.
Dude, Tony, Mr. Watanabe fucking knocks out Carter with some fucking Tai Chi.
That's it. Carter get a little fresh with Mrs. Watanabe, and then Mister's got to handle his business
Okay.
and, chops him in the throat, and Carter's fucking eating through a tube for the rest of his life. Fuck it.
So next we get a little exposition between Greg and Anne, where she asks if he's the new partner on the scam. So I love this scene. She comes to the door. He opens up the door quickly, Greg, and looks and sees her, and is like, he grabs her and pulls her in the apartment and slams the door shut. Again, this character for me is just so much fun. He's so weird, and it's really building the suspense for us as the viewers. What is he doing in there? What are they doing in there? Like, you can't tell me that when the scene comes up where they finally get the eviction and they're able to go in the apartment, that you weren't like dying to see what the fuck they've been doing in this apartment this whole movie. I thought that the guy was like Willy Wonka. Like, I wanted to know what was going on in the chocolate factory. You know what I'm saying? But there's a nice setup for the argument we're going to see between Carter and Greg. I presume that she's telling Greg that Carter double-crossed her and that it's a scam and be careful, he's going to fuck you over too. It's a nice little spark to keep this thing sketchy and exciting for me.
Yeah, I agree. I think the difference too is that she is obviously gotten a burn, but yet she still gives him that positive reference when
she's in love.
Drake calls.
She's in love.
Well, or what she considers love, because let's be honest.
Right.
When
She's
you're
in lust.
when you're a turd and a grifter, love is a cheap item. You know what I mean? She's not a romantic by any stretch. But it's to the idea that, she even says, could you give me an address for Carter? Because she doesn't know where he is, but she just gave him a sterling recommendation saying how wonderful he is. And then it's like, doesn't that raise a red flag when you're like, you don't have a forwarding address for a supposed tenant of yours?
You have to remember too, though, she's still waiting on $200K. She didn't get her share. He's still leading around with postcards and phone calls. So she doesn't want to fuck him over now because there's still a chance she might get that money, even though she's not going to.
And the really cool thing is that it took me a second or two to put together, but when Patty finds her and tracks her down, and she gives him the whole story about, oh yeah, we rip people off, and this is some old man's condo, and he hasn't been able to throw us out of here yet. Look how good I got it. I'm like, yeah, you're sleeping on a mattress on the floor. That's attractive. Yeah. So not to say I ain't never been there, but it's the idea of you're not exactly at the, Royal Palace. And she sees the postcard. Not only is he dumb enough to give you a postcard from the hotel he's staying in, but when he signs it, Love D, and Melanie Griffith's character puts together that he's now assumed Drake's persona because he's stolen the fucking mail that Drake left in the mailbox. Yep. So he's got his personal information and he can start to steal Drake's identity.
My thing was when Patty was talking to Beverly D'Angelo's character, and Beverly D'Angelo's character was like, oh, do you happen to have an address? And I'm like, that would have raised a red flag to me as the landlord. Like, what the fuck? What do you mean? Like, why do you want to know so bad? Do you know what I mean? Like, that would have made me, I don't know.
Next, we get another one of these great stylistic shots. And he keeps fucking pounding me with these that's so weird, with these great shots, right? So this one is shot from under Carter's apartment through an old, like, Victorian brass air duct. I fucking love this shot. And we're going to learn here that Carter did indeed double cross Anne. We also see Carter kick Greg's ass. And this builds the danger level of our antagonist here. This guy Carter is fucking not a pussy. He takes a beating like a champ, and he can fucking dish one out too. And I fucking thought it was cool. And you can just see that this guy, Greg, he just knows Carter's not the kind of guy you fuck with, because maybe he's not the most physical specimen, but he can handle himself, and he's a psycho. He's the kind of crazy you can't match, so you just don't deal with it. And this final shot of the roaches falling on Drake's face through the vent, followed by his cat reaching down, meow, save me. As a cat owner, had my emotions pumping. I really like the scene.
I actually thought that the cat was reaching down to have one of the roaches as a snack, but
maybe.
Whatever.
You might be right.
I'm a dog person. What do I know? Sorry. But I love it too, because you're right. It is a cool item that, it's either brass or some kind of, heavy metal kind of great cover, but there's no ductwork. I look at it and I'm like, you can't do that.
Dude.
So he's in a crawl space in the basement and there's no ductwork. And I'm like, how do you heat the place? And
I thought the same thing.
Yeah, it's forced hot air because he shut off the furnace. But then I'm like, there's no ductwork. How does that heat anything? So, it's one of those convenient movie things that has to go on because it's expeditious to the plot. But in normal life, there would be a big piece of fucking tin there that would direct warm air into the apartment. Yeah. So it is what it is. But I love it. And you know what? It gives you the idea, too, that it wasn't just Carter finding a stray roach that he's decided to do it. It's him breeding these roaches.
It's so good.
Yeah, it gives you the kind of breadth and depth of Carter's mind and how fucking far he'll go, and he'll be stopped at nothing to execute this plan of his, as sick and as twisted as it may be, just to get, his claws into these poor bastards and then just tear their guts out, I'm going to get these other people that are the only reason they're hanging on is getting rent from these folks. Well, I'm going to get rid of them because now I'll really own your ass. And the other thing too is that, when you say you were totally wondering what they're doing, I knew that this guy was just a hired help because he's dismantling the apartment. What is Carter like? He makes the comment to Patty, I love these fixtures and the woodwork and the this and that. He's parting out the place from the inside out, and it's just like, I mean, how do they not put two and two together? When you hear banging and sawing at 2:00 in the morning, what do you think they're doing? Building a fucking sculpture in the middle of a studio apartment? So it's a little scary, but it's the idea that, again, it just goes to show you how green and just generally, kind of out of it or not with it is a better term that Drake and Patty are. And, they get taken to the cleaners and it sucks. But even to the point where he didn't understand, I think you see the look on his face when he opens the garage and the Porsche is all cut into pieces. And he's like, what the fuck? And it's like, dude, he parted out the car because Porsches sometimes are worth more for their parts than they are as the whole.
But what's great about that scene, Tony, is that we're still not in on the fact that this isn't just a real estate scam. It's also an identity theft scam. So we're not thinking in that point of view like, oh, Carter Hayes is his last victim, which is why he could rent a car under Carter Hayes and part it out and not worry about it. So we're still wondering like, hey, why is the Porsche all dismantled?
Yeah, like initially I thought he was doing it just to fuck with him because that meant he couldn't park his car in that spot.
Yeah.
Right. Also the kind of the coup de grace because of the idea that it's a double-edged sword and it cuts both ways. Not only can you not have use of your garage, but I've now profited from using your identity to lease this vehicle and making one payment. And by the way, try to figure out how to get it back now.
So it's really nice. It's really well written. It's a super tight script. It just really is. So after the court case, the lawyer says it's not personal. God forbid he ever make it personal. And again, we get a foreshadowing comment as in this, final act. Patty is going to make it personal. She's going to pry into Carter's life and it's fucking great. She's going to go to this hotel. She's going to fuck with him. She's going to give champagne out to the whole 10th floor.
Yeah. It's the classic middle finger in your face. Yeah, absolutely.
It is. And finally, we get these two staged assaults set up by this bizarre dream sequence and this horrifying miscarriage. This is a really strange part of the movie. I know I was talking about, him making this very stylistic and artistic in moments. He started treading the line of like going somewhere maybe this movie shouldn't have gone. It started to become almost like a Nightmare on Elm Street or something, like this fantasy dreamscape fucking, I don't even know what it was, but it was entertaining. It was entertaining.
Could have skipped it and just gone right to him waking up with her.
Yes.
In the other room.
Yes. 100%. We didn't need that. It became like a weird 80s like music video for 3 minutes.
15 or 20 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean just the dream sequence?
Yes. Just the dream sequence. Okay. It was just like, like a Billy Idol video or something.
Well, those are a little lighter hearted than what you had going on there, but I think to me it gives you that whole idea of this is both actual warfare and psychological warfare, and it's now penetrated the subconscious of Drake so that he is dreaming about this shit because it is all enveloping in his life. You know what I mean? He's trying not to obsess, but this is so predominant in his mind that it's what he's thinking of night and day. And it's Carter just getting the upper hand and winning on him in every facet of his life.
Yeah. So first we're going to get this first attack, right? So we're going to get the two, like I said, they're both set up basically by Carter. So this first one is brilliant. Carter sees them through the peephole of his door coming home from the hospital, right? He calls 911. He's setting this whole thing up. He provokes Drake into attacking him. This is fucking fabulous. I thought that Matthew Modine really sold this as this dorky kid. Just, he's had enough. I saw the needle burst. I saw him just get so furious he attacks. I loved it. This leads us to the shooting. First off, why would Drake let his wife, who just had a miscarriage, stay in that house with a violent psychopath while he's off having a bromance cooking date with his buddy, right? And why would she
I agree. I would think that they would not, neither one of them would stay there.
No,
I was surprised.
Right. Well, honey, I know you just had a miscarriage and this guy's been, staring at you with, fingering a razor blade. You stay. I'm going to go over to fucking Brett's. We're going to cook some sushi. It's going to be great. Good. Lock the door. Good luck. And why would she call him acting all weird? Oh, hi. I gotta go. Click, and she hangs up, right? Knowing he can't be within 500 yards of the building. He's got to go there. If that's my wife, I'm like, okay, that was an SOS call. That was like he was there and she was fucking like blink twice for help, right? These two are such stupid, innocent little lambs. I'm starting to root for Carter. I am starting to root for Carter. And finally, Carter shoots Drake and puts a tire iron in his hand, right? This is like shooting fish in a barrel for Carter. And I fucking love it. I fucking do.
My favorite, though, is that not only does this shooting go on, but Carter faces nothing. You know how hard it is to get a gun permit in California? And he apparently, with 5 fake IDs, has gotten that far. There's never any mention of it, but it's to the idea that, forget about it. That doesn't occur. But, Matthew Modine is on the wrong end of everything here because the guy just can't do any right.
What's neat is there's, we were talking about this in the car too, about, this identity theft and, having to search these people out, the phone books, all this stuff, how could you get away with stuff like this for so long? This is before the internet. It was way easier to be shady before they put a camera everywhere. Wow. Everybody carried along a fucking a GPS device in their pocket that was listening to them, that can confirm where you are every second of every moment. Where if I want to know who your family is and everybody you've ever lived with, all I have to do is put into a computer. None of that existed back then. Information moved at the pace of a slug.
Well, to your point, yes, there are other ways to do it. Like the scene where he's got all these little 2x3 passport photos of himself because he's creating fake IDs. The other difference is that in today's world, it's easier for the technologically advanced to screw you over because they now electronically steal your identification, which is even better than having your physical ID. Because if I can get into your computer, I can own your life from afar. I don't even have to be near you. So you make a good point, but it's to the idea that today it can be even worse, sadly.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword.
Right.
You can go further with the scam. You can go further with the scam now than you could then.
Right on.
Get more elaborate with it now.
All right. While Drake is in the hospital, the lawyer finally is able to evict Carter. A locksmith disables the lock, and Patty finds that the apartment has been completely stripped. At the police station, Patty meets with Baker, the man that had applied first for the studio apartment, who turns out to be an San Francisco Police Department detective. He says he'll do what he can to retrieve the stolen property, but suggests that she just let it go. Among the ruins in the studio, while cleaning, Patty finds a photograph that has a name on it, James Danforth. She begins to investigate the name and finds that Carter has once been a member of an affluent family and the recipient of a private trust. However, his family now pays him to stay away from them. Patty tracks him to the Palm Springs condo and finds Ann still living there. And it is a condo that they swindled from the former owner, Carter Hayes. She shows Patty a postcard she had gotten from Hayes with a picture of a Los Angeles hotel on it. Oddly enough, this scene where they go in and they see the apartment completely stripped nuts to bolts, it reminds me of the Money Pit.
Yeah.
When the seller keeps saying to them, oh, we're taking that. And they take everything. They take the flooring, they take the fixtures, they take everything.
You're confusing two movies.
No,
that movie was called Moving with Richard Pryor, where he buys the house, and as they're looking at it, he's going, man, I love those kitchen cabinets, guys, because too bad we're taking them with us. That's Moving. That's Moving. It never happens in the Money Pit. You're wrong. It's okay. Keep going.
Regardless. I'm not even sure where you can take a toilet to resell it, but okay. I missed it initially, but rewound the movie because I couldn't figure out how Patty had assumed Carter was using Drake's name. Like, it kind of was like, how did she figure that out? But Anne explaining that Carter Hayes was the name of the man that used to own the condo tipped Patty off.
Yes.
Which was actually very clever. Because at first I was like, wait a second, how did she know that he was using Drake's name? I couldn't quite figure it out, so I had to back it up, and that's how she figured it out.
Right. She got it just from the letter D on the postcard.
And from the fact that he was using the name of the person he last stole from. So the person he last stole from this time is Drake.
That's his MO. Yeah, I got you.
But I love that we get to discover this with Patty. It's an aha moment. It's a great payoff. It's really strong fucking writing.
Mm-hmm. And Patty's just a gumshoe. You know what I mean? She's that stalwart. Yes. She goes and drives from place to put the puzzle pieces together. Shit that Drake couldn't do on his best day with a fair wind blowing and a fucking, army of fucking help. She figures the whole mess out in about 16 hours. This poor guy is still bumbling around trying to heal up and, to get abused again in the next scene because he's just a patsy on a good day.
Tony, being a retired police officer, I want to throw this question at you. So I was thinking at the moment that she figured that out, I'm like, man, I feel like a good detective on this case should at least be like a half a step ahead of fucking Patty, right? Like, how is the fucking detective not figuring this out?
Well, here's the deal. The guy she met with in the department before she meets with the lieutenant, who is the first applicant to the apartment. He's busy with 9 other things. He's got a stack of papers on his desk. This is the 34th report he's taken this week. And P.S., all of them are extremely important. Yeah. And I hope you get the sarcasm I'm dripping with.
Yeah,
there.
I know what you're saying.
It's to the idea that, even the lieutenant, who's the boss, who recognizes the name, so he goes out to actually see her and speak with her, says, we'll do our best to track it down. That's police code for there's no fucking way you're getting any of this shit back.
And you also have to remember she's a bigot in his eyes.
Well, or he believes that. My point too is that I'm a little off put by A, his attitude was shit. B, he wants to circumvent policy and procedure, something he knows is going to get him in trouble. And then C, his I tucked it under the door theory. When the fuck does that ever get anything fucking done? He doesn't even put it in an envelope.
Yeah.
Okay. This guy's weak as fuck. You're the boss. You ought to be the top of the pops, not the fucking low man on the ladder. So you're a 0 in my eyes.
Tony,
you
envelope.
fucked this whole thing up.
Envelope would have fucking saved everybody.
How about this? Put it in the goddamn mailbox, right? Isn't that where mail goes?
An envelope or a mailbox, and this whole movie is fucking goes different. They
not only that, but guess what? You could have dropped a dime in the fucking payphone because their phone number is on the sign that says for rent. So just call them and say, hey, are you home? Because I got my paperwork. I want to give it to you. I'm down the street.
They're selling that place, 1990 to 2000, 17 years later, they're selling that place for a profit of fucking $3.5 million.
Right. And even at the end of the film, let's say it was a month or 2 months later, they're selling it for a handy $150,000 more than they paid for it.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Right. To the next bunch of yups, from Cali. But it's the kind of thing where,
Why'd they sell it? Why not just rent it? You just went through hell.
Really?
Bad memories.
You want to stay there?
Yes, I won.
Okay.
I got that fucking guy out, and now we're going to live our dream.
You're a glutton for punishment, bro. You're a glutton for punishment.
So, Glenn, like you said, they're going to get him kicked out here. They're going to get the sheriff time to go in the apartment. I don't know about you guys, but at this moment in the movie, like I said, I was really excited to see what this was going to look like. It's devastating. It's devastating. They open the door, you can see it. Fucking Patty is absolutely crushed, gutted. We get the payoff with the lieutenant rubbing the salt in Patty's wounds, right? Can you imagine? Give me the keys. It's like this lady's she's completely fucked. And we finally learn here that the name Carter Hayes was actually one of his past victims. Again, this explains the scam better at this moment in the movie, why Carter was parting out his own Porsche. This is an identity theft scam on top of a real estate scam. It's really fun. It's really well fucking fleshed out. And I try to remember, this is 1990, right? So I don't know, was this scam a little hipper, a little fresher back then? Maybe that's why the lieutenant and the police department weren't all over it as an identity theft. I don't know. I can't remember, but I imagine it probably was. And finally, we see Anne point Patty in the right direction to find Carter out of basically just pure stupidity. She shows her the card. I mean, he's written on it. It was a bad move. I'm sure Carter would have disapproved if he had been there, right? Now, the lieutenant warns Patty. He warns her, do not fuck with Carter. Okay? He's extremely dangerous. You're lucky he didn't kill Drake. These are all quotes. This is what he is saying to this woman. He is dangerous. You're lucky he didn't kill your fiance. He's moving on to the next victim. Fucking just let it go. You mean nothing to him. So what's Patty going to do? She's going to teach Carter a lesson. What could go wrong? I submit that this woman won't be happy till she gets fucking Drake killed, right? Tony?
I think it's a natural human reaction. Everybody wants their pound of flesh. She feels empowered and God love her. She's the only woman with any fucking balls in this whole movie. So, well, Carter's got some balls, but she's the only character that's a victim with any balls. She's tried to do the legal thing. That fucking fell in its face. She tried to do the lawyer thing. That didn't go very well. So now she's taking it upon herself. And you know what? Fuck them. A little vigilante justice for this asshole is just the recipe it needs. Because that's a natural human reaction to get some payback.
But Tony, you have to remember, this man fucking beat her husband within an inch of his life with a golf club, shot him with a handgun.
Fuck him.
The detective has said, you're lucky he did not kill your husband when he shot him.
Got a lot of problems.
Dude, this is a fucking shit
it's
idea.
a movie. It's a movie.
Okay. That should be the new name of the fucking show. It's a movie.
It's just a movie. No, my point is this. Come on, Des. You're going to tell me you're going to take the good advice of the lovely lieutenant and go fucking bury this and then be half the man you used to be?
In this case, if this man was just going to go away, I think I would just let this thing end. He's dangerous. He's a psychopath. Like he's a real psychopath. Kill your whole family.
There you go.
Kill your whole family. Kill your whole family.
But here's the thing.
Maybe.
Here's the thing. He's not going to stop. He's not just going away because he has stolen Drake's identity. He is already has the paperwork to take over that house.
Yeah.
He's not just going away.
Yeah, but here's the
they're
problem.
telling him they're telling him just let it go away. It's not going to go away.
We're
and
gonna
she knows
get
that.
this in the next scene. Is it goes away if she does the prominent thing and calls the fucking Woody. Just you should have gone straight to the police. Call Woody. Remember that? If I'd listened to Woody and gone straight to the police, none of this would have ever happened. You guys don't remember that little commercial in Massachusetts from the day?
No.
If I had listened to Woody and gone straight to the police, none of this would have ever happened.
I don't remember that.
It's like an
Never heard of it.
You sound like Bill Murray in fucking Caddyshack.
It's like a cartoon.
Googla, magoogla, ungla.
It's like a cartoon. I think it's a cartoon owl.
Cinderella story, I guess.
It's a little cartoon owl, no? Cinderella story.
Oh, boy.
Hi, I'm Woodsy Owl, and I'm here to tell you about a dirty word, water pollution. Kids, it's up to us to keep our lakes and streams clean and beautiful. We've been polluting the water with all kinds of junk like paper, cans, and gooey gunk. It looks ugly, and it's killing our fish and ducks. Please don't throw junk in the water. Give a hoot. Don't pollute.
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that, but how does it relate to being smart and calling the police?
because these are public service announcements. And in one of them, like somebody's like doing something wrong. And Woodsy goes, if you had listened to Woodsy and gone straight to the police, none of this would have ever happened.
I don't remember that one, but I remember the one you just played. Oh my God.
I think maybe Des did drop a little acid before the show because he's now gone off the reservation. Maybe those gummies kicked in. I don't know.
Patty goes to the hotel, and where there's no Carter Hayes checked in, she tries the name Drake Goodman and finds that Carter John has checked in using her boyfriend's name. She follows him and finds out he's spending a large amount of time with a rich widow. Breaking into his room, she finds ample evidence of his cons, including stealing Drake's identity. Patty charges a huge amount of hotel services to Carter's room, reports the fake credit cards and traveler's checks as stolen, reports a stolen Cadillac to the police, and steals a large amount of petty cash for herself, as well as leaving a little for the cleaning room girl. She alerts the real Drake to report all his credit cards and bank accounts stolen, freezing them. When Carter returns to the hotel manager tells him that there's problems with his credit. The manager allows Hayes to go up to his room to find answers, and Patty narrowly escapes. Hayes is arrested but doesn't stay in jail long. He convinces the widow he's been sweet-talking to post bail for him. At home, Drake rests upstairs from his hospital stay, and Patty is working on fixing up the ruined studio, because she's the only one that ever fucking does any work around the place. Carter sneaks into the upstairs apartment and beats Drake with a golf club. When Patty returns to the studio after finding Kitty, Carter ambushes her and locks her in the studio with him. Drake tries to enter through the hole in the floor. Patty is able to temporarily force Hayes off of her. Drake grabs his leg from below, and Hayes pitches backwards and falls onto the sharpened ends of piping to the sink he stole. So, haha. Carter twitches around a little bit and he dies. Several months later, Patty and Drake sell the house to another couple. When asked why they want to walk away from such a beautiful home, Patty says it was just an investment. So I'm thinking it was a gross misjudgment to not keep tabs on where Carter was going, and if he had made bail, like, you just think it's okay, like, just, he's in jail, it's fine. Like, dude could get out at any moment. You got to be keeping tabs on him. I don't care if it is the fucking 90s. With as slippery as he is, and as bad as Patty burned him, No. You don't take your eyes off that. You have somebody call you if he's gotten mail. I don't think I would have felt comfortable until he was behind bars, like convicted. The other thing is that the woman playing the rich lady is Tippi Hedren, Melanie Griffith's mother.
That is interesting. So I told you I love this movie, and it's very tightly written. And this part is even tightly written. It's just like in a parallel universe where everyone's lost their minds. So I have a problem with this final act. So Patty goes to the hotel Carter is staying at and puts together that Carter has stolen Drake's identity. And at this moment, instead of calling the lieutenant and having Carter arrested and the wheel of justice starting to turn in their favor, she's going to engage Carter in a dangerous game of cat and mouse that will 100% result in this professional psychopath, Carter, coming after her and finishing off her and her stupid wounded boyfriend.
Yeah, agreed.
Tony, Tony, go ahead. You always have the.
All right, one. Let's play devil's advocate for a moment and say that she did Woodsy's advice and she calls 5-0. And the lieutenant says, "Oh, it's my favorite white woman who doesn't like black men and won't rent to me." So he's already biased against her in his own mind. Right. And then when she says, "I want this asshole arrested," he'll say, "And what evidence can you render for me?" Which she's destroyed or thrown about the room because she has a fit of rage before she comes to her moment of clarity and starts calling room service. So she's really taken this upon herself. And you know what? It's a self-centered kind of thing to do, but it's what the human psyche needs, right? She's like, well, my panty waist boyfriend isn't going to do a fucking thing because he's worthless. I have to take the bull by the horns here. And you know what? This asshole isn't all that in a bag of chips. Listen. He's a bully and a pussy, and Des thinks he's fucking Joe Foreman, but he's not.
I appreciate your pushback. I do. I appreciate looking at both sides of this coin, but this is the most horrible defense attorney fucking plot you've laid down. This woman is out of her fucking, like, she's gonna get her husband killed. He's at home.
What?
He's healing a
it's
broken arm.
It's probably the best thing that'll ever happen to her is getting that guy killed. Let's be honest.
He's healing a broken arm. Her husband is now up on assault charges. I mean, that, like, she's got to fucking start putting this thing back on the rails, going towards her and her husband, going to court where it matters, and putting this guy on the defense. Instead, no, she's going to hunt him down.
You have great confidence in the fact that the justice system meters out justice.
But she's been learning that you don't.
It doesn't happen. That's what
Yes.
she's learned.
Yes.
She's learned that the system has failed her time and time again.
No.
So it's time to get a little fucking payback the old-fashioned way.
No.
I'll do it myself.
No.
Yeah.
So now we get this little scene where she gets Carter's backstory through a scrapbook, right? And what's she going to do? She's going to start impersonating a lieutenant to a car agent. Oh, what could go wrong? She's fucking breaking an entry. She's fucking impersonating police officers. Like, she's not going to be happy until Carter fucking owns their fucking building because they've broken so many fucking laws. Is this woman out of her fucking mind?
Well, wait a minute. To foil you there, do you think the con man's going to call the cops and present himself as a victim? Because that isn't probably going to fly in this case.
There are laws. It's not going to hurt his case when the facts come out that she found all the evidence without a fucking warrant, right?
Yeah, but she doesn't want him charged, bro. She wants her own pound of flesh.
No,
she's not going to use the cops. She's not going to use the system.
She's
going to get him her way.
No, he has to be charged to wipe out all this debt that they've accrued during this scam. She needs it to come. She needs him to be charged so that they can get restitution and have their names cleared both financially and criminally.
How are they going to find it? From the trust?
From all the evidence she found in his room that she obtained illegally with no warrant.
You can't get restitution on stolen money. All that money is evidence too.
No.
Everything that he took from the other people is germane to their case.
No.
The state can't seize that and just give it out to people.
I'm fucking dying because Tony says restitution like that guy going playoffs.
Listen. Okay. So, but no.
Refund.
She's not going to hand over the winning trial case to the defense to the prosecution attorney. She's not going to take this fucking envelope that explains everything and completely exonerates her and her husband of any wrongdoing and could possibly wipe out this debt that they've incurred. No, she's not going to do any of that. Nope. She's going to fucking antagonize this guy into coming back to their house and killing her boyfriend.
Sounds like a good plan. Let's do it. I like it. I give it a 9.
Couple things. One, to be perfectly honest with you, this whole scene with her going down there and going to the hotel and doing all that like recon, that was the only part of this movie that I was mildly like, ooh, what's going to happen? That's like honestly it.
No way.
Yeah.
Get out of
Yes.
here.
And can I, and maybe I missed it because I'm not 100% lately, but what was the goal? So obviously, Beverly D'Angelo was living in the old shitty condo that they, somehow swindled from this other guy. What is the end game here to get the house and then sell? Like, I don't understand what his end game is.
So he steals the identity. He racks up as much debt in the man's name as he can, right? Like whatever he can buy and he can flip, fence, turn over. Probably liquidates all, bank accounts, runs up tons of credit, and then they gut the property that they stay in some cases for, all the materials. Or like in Beverly D'Angelo's case, she's just been living there rent free for years. And, presumably there's a court case going on.
Okay.
And this guy, Carter Hayes, has already been taken for everything.
Okay, because I was like, what is the end? Like, does he want it so they'll finally say fuck it and sign it over to him, and then he's gonna set? Like, I couldn't figure out like what the end game was.
So they were saying that could possibly be part of it, like with him attacking him and everything. He could literally walk away with the entire house.
Yeah,
well, at that point, he would just strip the house, sell everything in it, and walk away from it.
Yeah, he can't take the house only because, let's be real, the bank is going to come back and take the house.
Right.
Well, the lawyer...
And you know the deal, too. The bank will then file and say, you're in that property. Well, we're going to have you locked up because you're now B&E our house. The point is that Des is right. He's basically going to set up another life for Drake.
Okay.
Except he's going to shift it to L.A. Because if you remember, she drives from San Francisco to L.A.
Correct.
to the Marriott there to find him. So he's basically kind of made a photocopy of Drake's life.
Yes.
Right.
And he's now got credit cards that are parallel.
Okay.
Right. So what he's doing is he's setting up shop in LA to do the next con with this woman, Tippi Hedren's character, that he's going to bilk for X amount of money,
He'll
whatever.
completely mine out all he can, and once there's no more to mine out,
He's just running con after con after con.
He's basically whenever he's setting up is he's looking at.
He's a grifter, and
yeah,
right.
Right.
And it's the idea that he's always looking down the road because he's metamorphosizing into a new person every time he leaves town to set up shop somewhere.
Thank you. I was just like, I don't understand his end game, because when you guys initially said let's watch Pacific Heights, for some reason I must be thinking of another movie. I think I was thinking of the one with Jeffrey Dean Morgan, but I thought that he was in love with her and was like stalking her, and then I realized, oh, that's not what that is. But thank you.
Actually, yeah, there's a Ray Liotta movie. What the hell?
Yeah,
was
we
it
just
called?
watched
He's
it
a
with Madeline
cop
Stowe.
Unlawful
Yeah,
entry.
right.
It's
That's
so
it.
good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Very similar, but more the stalker thing than the
dude.
than the grifter
That
thing.
movie is so fucking dark. Oh,
Yeah, Ray Liotta crossed my mind in the recast, but I went in a different direction. So I
wanted to do Unlawful Entry with Tony 2.0. I mean, Tony original flavor. I thought he would really like it, but he wasn't really interested. It's kind of a horror movie. I mean, I think Maniac Cop, right?
Cricket.
Sure. No.
Okay, listen.
Not even remotely close to a horror film, Des. but
Oh, no,
good
what
try.
do you mean it's not a horror film?
There's nothing horror film about it. What are you
okay.
talking about?
It's a maniac cop who goes on a murdering streak.
He's a cunning maniac cop, and he's not on a murder streak. He just kills anybody that gets in his way. So he's not killing people indiscriminately like in a horror film. And he's not doing it other than... What's that?
He murders his partner and says, "You're not going up to talk to anybody."
That's
he
right,
murders
because unfortunately, you got in his way. You
he
fucked
murders
up.
a school teacher and shoves her in a fucking closet.
Well, he doesn't want her to get caught.
That's
yeah.
life in
No,
California.
no.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, he's not a
There you
maniac
go.
cop. Okay.
And you know what? And people still think California's a good
No,
spot.
this is-
Apparently,
this is
all
a-
you do is get murdered there.
It's not a horror movie. It's fine.
It's not a horror movie.
Okay.
It's not even remotely close.
All right, then finally we get this final finale scene. I mean, the kill scene, right? Keaton comes back like we all knew he would. Like, this is like, Melanie, yay. You caused a little scene in the fucking lobby of a hotel. Yay. Now you and your husband are going to pay the fucking price. You know how lucky she is he didn't fucking staple her head to the floor? The thing fucking jammed. That's it. The thing jammed. She's dead. She's dead.
It's
Tony,
a movie.
I win.
It's a
my
movie.
point. This is my point. She would be dead if it hadn't jammed.
Right.
This was not worth the payback. This pound of flesh she got was not worth her and her boyfriend being murdered in their home.
I don't care. I love it.
Okay, so we get the great scene again from underneath. You know, Drake is completely helpless. He's in the basement. He can't get in. And how's this going to end? Well, how's he going to come to his wife's rescue? Honey, I got his toe.
I grabbed his foot.
If you could do the rest, I'd really appreciate it. You know, I'm safe down here in the cellar.
That's pretty much a euphemism for this entire film. It's
It
okay.
was.
Right.
It was.
That's all Drake's ever really done in this movie.
We get the fun
shit.
slow motion fallback, arms out, reaching for the camera, thunk, onto the fucking piping. It's great. I love it. I love the ending. Even though I bitched and moaned about it, I fucking loved it all. I love Melanie going to the hotel. I love the little, you know, like you said, Tony, the little Hardy Boys going with fucking Patty.
Yeah.
You know, what was that? The Red Hound Gang, remember? We're the Red Hound Gang.
The Bloodhound.
Wherever
Gang.
there's trouble, we're there on the double. We're
Oh,
the
boy.
Bloodhound Gang. Okay.
Des is on a roll, folks. First it was Woodsy. Now we got the Bloodhound Gang. We're killing it tonight.
77 again. All right, Tony, end of the movie. Mickey, end of the movie. Lynn, end of the movie. All at once.
Thank God.
End of the movie. Were you excited for it? Did you?
I was happy that it was
waiting for
ending.
it to end.
I was
That's
happy
what I
that it was
felt.
ending.
That's what I was poking you for. I was poking you for that. Got the impression you weren't a big fan for this one. You're not-
But I feel like you're right. Drake was a kind of a little bitch, and she really had the balls in the family, and she if it wasn't for her, they would have really been fucked. Like, you know what I mean? I found that last scene a little underwhelming.
No, it was overwhelming. It was amazing.
Sorry. Yeah.
Tony, end of the movie. Did it fucking work for you? Was it enough?
Yeah, I think it was a little simplified, but you know what? It's a relatively simple film and it's okay with me. Not only that, but considering the genre and the period it's done in, it's right down the line. It's perfect for what it is. It solves all the issues nicely, ties everything up with a bow, and it's end of story. Goodbye. So it's good.
The lid.
You'll get my thoughts on that when we do the alternate ending.
Oh, Delyn has cooked up something for us tonight.
I've got a killer, just like every week. I've got a killer.
Just like
all
every
right,
week.
That's it.
Des
We
is
did
a frustrated screenwriter.
That's the movie. That's Pacific Heights. So if you guys enjoyed the discussion, I always do. Tony, I love going fucking toe to toe with you for the full 12 rounds. It's fucking awesome. Mikki, great having you back.
It's
like
good to be
always,
back. I
like
missed you
always.
guys.
You were missed. It's not a dysfunctional date night without you on board.
Aw.
You are the dysfunctional in our dysfunctional date
Because
night,
I have to play both wives when you're not here. It's tough.
It's not easy. That's right. It's a very difficult job.
I have to play Des and Mikki, and it's not an easy job.
It's tough.
All right,
a lot of characters.
Let's head over to the fucking recasting couch. I got an obvious one. I'm replacing Beverly D'Angelo with Kathy Moriarty, who you might recognize as Ramona from Neighbors. Rooting around for Ramona. So, there you go.
That's it? Just one?
Yeah, just one today. I love the casting of this movie. I thought it was fucking fantastic. Delyn.
Okay.
So I move Michael Keaton to Drake's role because I think that he could have played that role way better with a lot more depth. I get rid of Melanie Griffith and I slot in Michelle Pfeiffer.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Good one.
So I got Michelle Pfeiffer as Patty. I've got Michael Keaton as Drake. And then because he looks like Matthew Modine, I'm picking Crispin Glover to play Carter.
Yeah, he's creepy as shit.
He's so creepy. He would have done an amazing job.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really good.
Thank you very much.
Good work.
Mikki, did you recast it?
I did. I actually recast 3. I recast, took out Matthew Modine and put in Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, he just popped into my head. And then I would take out Melanie Griffith. And I don't know if you know who she is, but I'm sure Delyn does. And I know Tony does. I would put in as Patty Lauren Cohan from The Walking Dead. She played Maggie.
Oh, yes. Yep.
I don't know that, but I love the Jake Gyllenhaal.
And then I would, if I had to replace Michael Keaton, I would put in a very creepy acting Christian Bale.
Yeah, that's.
I like it.
Yeah,
like that
something
too.
right out of American Psycho.
It's
Yeah.
perfect.
I like it.
No, it's perfect. It's really, really good. Those are great. Tony.
I actually left Michael Keaton alone. I think he was one of the strongest characters, if not the strongest character in the film. For Melanie Griffith's replacement, I picked Blake Lively. I wanted a strong female, and I like her.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
She's kind of the tomboyish, she fits the mold on a couple things. And then I kind of wanted to pick a 1990s actor. I wound up with Skeet Ulrich only because he's a pretty boy. He's kind of passive aggressive and he kind of just fizzes out. So that's where I went.
There you go.
I like it.
All right, let's head over and do some alternate endings.
As if we'd end the movie like that. Yeah.
Let's do the Scooby-Doo ending.
Good call.
Delyn, go ahead. You go first.
I mean, mine's not breaking the mold or anything.
They
It's
never
just,
are.
Hey, Delyn.
Shut the fuck up.
Now we know why he's upstairs and you're not.
Yes, because I'd kill him.
There you go. That's right. Because it'd be Pacific Heights on the first floor.
Oh my God.
I don't know where these pipes came from.
I actually really like this ending and I don't want to change it too much. but Patty has done the heavy lifting through this entire fucking movie for everything. From day one, she's been doing the heavy lifting. I think I would have liked for her to have a bit more agency in ending Carter's reign of terror, because she was the one basically it's an accident. He dies by accident.
Yeah.
So instead, he's fucking menacing her with that fucking nail gun. I would like Drake to grab his leg so it just discombobulates Carter for a half a second because he doesn't know what's going on. Carter struggles to not to fall. Patty picks up the nail gun and shoots him with it. So it pushes him over and he ends up on the pipes.
Yeah.
Me, that you're taking away her agency at the end when she's been the only one to get anything done through the whole movie. And I feel like that was really important, that she should have played a part in that.
I agree. Drake's like, I killed him. I did it.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Drake.
Yeah, fuck you, you jerk,
works.
you milk drinker.
All right. So in my ending, milk drinking motherfucker. In my ending, Carter kills Drake with the golf club when he comes over the side of the couch. He doesn't stop. He just bashes his fucking brains in, stupid idiot. Then he goes downstairs and pumps Patty full of nails, killing her. Then he drives out and he kills Ann with a baseball bat to tie up those loose ends before marrying the rich, older sugar mama that you saw in the movie, who he kills and makes it look like an accident, leading them to inherit her entire estate and living happily ever after as a rich man.
Oh, you let him get away.
Oh, yeah. I gave it all to Carter there. That was my ending.
Des, you're a bad man. You're a bad man.
I always read mine like shit, too. I don't know why. I was like, like a fucking milk drinker. All right. That's it. We did it.
What do you guys really got against milk anyway? Come on.
I hate milk. I don't drink milk.
I mean, it's a good phrase, but come on. I like milk.
Milk drinker comes from the game Skyrim. It's an insult, basically. Because everybody drinks mead. So if you're drinking milk, you're a panty waste, basically, just like you were saying. Yeah.
I don't drink milk anymore. It's like a weird, thick, weird drink like milk. Want some milk? Yum. Milk.
All right, Des, take the blue gummies. Stay off with the red gummies, okay? Something's wrong with you tonight, bro. Something's wrong with you tonight.
No, I want you to think about milk, okay? It comes from a cow's tit, first of all, right? And it's thick, and it's like
what kind of fucking milk are you drinking? Yogurt? It's not thick. It's liquid.
It's weird.
Thick. It leaves a weird coating on your throat.
It does. What does it even taste like?
Tastes like fucking milk is what it fucking tastes like.
I will tell you.
What does fucking squash taste like?
Squash.
The medication that I'm taking, I have to take it with milk, so I use chocolate milk.
Yeah, there you go. I guess.
Oh, chocolate milk is fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, fucking chocolate, anything's fine. Okay. Final thoughts, rewatch scores. I find this movie wildly entertaining and very easy to watch, which is why I've seen it at least 24 times. 10 years held up just like the first time I saw it. So for me, this one gets a robust 4.73 rewatch score. To Lynn.
I do not like it as much as you do. I'm going to score it the way I'm going to score it for the writing, because I feel like the writing was pretty tight and interesting. Like you said, the movie moved. It did not stagnate. It moved pretty quickly. And I actually, as much as I dislike Melanie Griffith, she was the strongest character in the whole movie, and she did a decent job with it. So I'm going to give it a 2.8.
2.8, a little better than average. I like the score. It's fair. Mickey, feel this is where we're going to start fucking dredging.
No, to be honest with you, I actually agree with everything that Delyn said. I thought this movie could have been better. For what they were given, I think they all did a good job. I mean, apparently Matthew Modine's character was supposed to be a pussy, and Melanie Griffith's character was supposed to have some balls, and Michael Keaton was just a douche overall, but he was a good douche. I don't know. It left me kind of lacking. Like, I don't know. It just, I don't even know how to explain it. It just wasn't enough for me, but I gave it a 2.7.
There you go. She's a sophisticate, and she was looking for a little more joie de vivre in the film, you know.
Tony, then you give us your simple score.
2.99, and it didn't tickle my fancy, but it was pretty solid. For the 1990 segment that it was in, I think it was a movie of the day. It didn't weather quite as well for me as it does for you does, but
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It wasn't a snooze fest, but it wasn't, getting me all warm and fuzzy.
So 2.99.
Okay. So this takes a score of 3.305 and it lands it at number 78, right below Halloween and right above Videodrome.
Okay. Interesting slot.
So, like, for instance, 74 is The Mist, 75 is Desperately Seeking Susan, 76 is Air Force One, 77 is Halloween, 78 would be this movie Pacific Heights, then 79 is Videodrome, 80 is Bad Boys, 81 is Don't Look Up, and 82 is 16 Candles, just to give you an idea of the group it's in.
Don't Look Up was so good. I love that movie.
Nobody else did, unfortunately.
Well, they're not like
well, that's this show in general, so it's okay.
So like I said, we'll be back in 2 weeks. We'll be reviewing Kill Bill 1, and then we will do the follow-up to that with our next Tony Original Flavor show. On our sister podcast, Violent Vinyl Radio, we will be back next week where we will be reviewing Warrant's Cherry Pie. So there you go.
Nice. Great record.
We'll see. I just have one question for you. Hey, did you ever see that movie? See you later.
Bye.
I like you changing up the inflection there.
Thank you.
There you go.
Really pushing that question.
Workshopping it.
I've been workshopping that.